And welcome to Time About the Movies. Today we are taking a look at the two films that make up June 12, 2015. And there's no bigger new release this weekend than the first film that we have here, which is Jurassic World. 22 years after the original Jurassic Park was released, and nearly 22 years to the date of the original release date, the park is now officially open. Isla Nublar, an island located off of Central America's Pacific coast near Costa Rica, now features a fully functioning dinosaur theme park, Jurassic World. As originally envisioned by John Hammond, the new park is owned by Simon Masrani, played by Irfan Khan, CEO of the Masrani Corporation. Owen Grady, played by Chris Pratt, a member of the park's on-site staff, is a trainer of a group of velociraptors known as Blue, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. At the corporation's request, the park's genetics cause a hybrid dinosaur known as Indominus Rex to boost viewer attendance. Claire Dealing, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, is the park's operational manager. Her nephews, Zach and Gray, Nick Robinson, and Ty Simpkins, are visiting the island when the hybrid escapes and are subsequently caught up in the creature's deadly rampage. It then becomes the responsibility of Owen and Jurassic World's security team to contain the hybrid dinosaur before she can cause more damage. Just the fact that this thing tells you that The Lost World in Jurassic Park 3 never happened in this universe already makes it the best Jurassic Park sequel ever. I mean, let's face it, as much as I fully didn't hate Jurassic Park 3, those sequels are terrible. I don't care what anybody says. Lost World is one of the worst things Steven Spielberg has ever had his name attached to as a director. And Jurassic Park 3 is just kind of bland and mediocre. But this brought a lot of the magic back from the original Jurassic Park. There's more action in this movie. There's less stupid stuff in this movie. The characters are actually interesting for the most part. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But more importantly, the dinosaurs are awesome to watch in this. It's the Jurassic Park sequel I've been waiting for a long time, and a perfect example of good summer escapism entertainment. This is a fun movie. The actors do a really good job here. Chris Pratt I thought was awesome as Owen. Bryce Dallas Howard's pretty solid as Claire. Vincent D'Onofrio, even though he's kind of a cartoonish bad guy, he's still pretty good. There's a lot more effort being put into these characters than there were in the last two sequels. The story overall generally does work. The concept of the park being open is a great idea, and of course it's cool to see that this park is open and what it looks like, because we all know when you have all these dinosaurs together, yeah, it's going to be chaos when it actually gets to that point, and it's pretty glorious when it happens. The action is really solid. Everything with the dinosaurs is pretty cool. It gets to some of the most insane action you can get in one of these types of films, and it's amazing to watch. The ending alone will make you scream, fuck yeah. It's one of those movies. Like, it's one of those movies where you scream that out after something epic happens. I mean, this movie, it's up there in stuff like, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, The Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Godzilla 2014, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the original Jurassic Park. When that moment happens, that really joins the ranks of those movies that I just mentioned before. Of course, yeah, there are a lot of things about this movie that are not that great, so why don't we just go ahead and get to them. First of all, they try to add a little bit too much realism of events in the film, so out of place for a film like this. Like, it just feels like, why is this even in here? Like, the whole thing about the kids' parents getting divorced just seems so out of place, and it's never really delved into. It's only brought up 2 times in the entire movie. In the beginning, and then in the middle, never gets resolved at the end. Like, they're together, but they never say what happens to them. Like, the screenwriters felt like they thought this wasn't as important as the actual story was. So if you're going to have it in there, make it a part of the story. Give it a conclusion or something. Speaking of the overabundance of subplots, much like in the first film, there's a lot of them that doesn't get resolved. Not just the divorce of the kid's parents, the subplot of the older kid oogling the ladies, the Jake Johnson, Laura Lapkus, possible romance, using the same modifications that made the Indominus Rex to make a genetically modified T-Rex, the whole subplot with B.D. Wong's Dr. Henry Wu. Just a lot of subplots that don't get resolution, even though he does come back in later films. I know the movie's about dinosaurs, but don't have the subplots in there if you're not going to plan on following them. It's like with the Entourage movie we had the week before. Another problem is that there is more of an abundance of CGI for the dinosaurs, which I get it. We've adapted since the original Jurassic Park came out, but the original film had the mixture of the animatronics and the CG, and it's not like an overabundance like in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but you definitely notice a lot more CG effects this time around than in other Jurassic Park movies. The biggest flaw of the movie is very cliched in terms of its characters. You know who's going to be the main hero of the movie. You know who's going to be the love interest. You know who the bad guy's is and when he's going to get his comeuppance. You know who's going to end up dying, who ends up living, what happens as the film progresses. They do throw a couple little twists and turns here. Like, Bryce Dallas Howard's character actually does kind of become a badass with a gun and is able to stand up to a freaking T-Rex at the end of it. I mean, and also not letting the main black guy die. I mean, that's, take what you can get, man. You get these twists that are actually beneficial every once in a while, but when the stuff that sticks out, because we've seen it done before, sticks out big time. I mean, that's kind of what makes this a lot of fun, because it doesn't go down those tropes that we're used to seeing. But yeah, it's a very flawed film, but it's a fun movie. It's a really fun film. It's a great ride. It gives you the long-deserving sequel to such an iconic movie of its time we've been waiting for. This is that answer to if you've been waiting for that really good Jurassic Park sequel. And yeah, it's a really good movie. It's a really fun film. The sequels, not so much. I'll really admit that they are more heavily flawed than this one. But you know what? They're still a lot better than the other Jurassic Park sequels. And I will stick by that until the day I die. Which, can't wait to see how many people who are new to this are going to listen to that part and give me shit for saying that. Because that's what happened with the Scary Movie trailer just came out recently. But that's a whole other thing altogether. But Jurassic World, absolutely fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. So, with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our last movie that we have here, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl.
You never told me. Your phone was going straight to voicemail.
Probably because ain't no good service down there.
Rated PG-13.
Don't be a party boomer.
Now play.
Based off of the novel by the writer of this movie, Jesse Andrews, and directed by one of the co-creators of Glee, Alfonso Gomez-Rejon, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl follows a socially awkward teenage boy played by Thomas Mann, who, with an acquaintance, befriends a classmate after she is diagnosed with cancer. R.J. Seiler is his best friend in this, and the other person is Olivia Cooke. You also see Nick Offerman, Molly Shannon, and John Barenthal here, along with Connie Britton. It's about what you expect it to be for a movie like this. A movie that appeals to the teenage generation of this movie's time coming out. And it's a really good movie. It's a movie that really does work very well because the performances are so very strong. The young actors in here play good jobs. Do good jobs in this movie of acting. There's a lot of good fun comedy from the veterans in here. I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking. If that's the biggest flaw of it all, is that it's basically this generation's kind of Juno, sort of Napoleon Dynamite kind of film, a coming-of-age movie for the generation of the teenagers of this time period. And it is what it is. It delivers on what it asks for, but it works because the script is solid overall. The direction is really good. The characters are likable. You do like these actors putting all their effort into it. It's a really good film. It's one I do highly recommend checking out if you haven't seen it. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl is one I definitely would recommend. Not much more to say about it, except it's a definite recommendation from me. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies. And the next time we meet, we'll take a look at two more big summer movies, including the latest from Disney and Pixar, Inside Out. And we also have my favorite movie of 2015, and one that, surprisingly, not a whole lot of people didn't get to see, and that was Dope. So, we'll take a look at both of those movies coming up tomorrow on the show. So, with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and don't forget to check out the previous episode we did. With all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.